Hey, this is Iron Wolf Isaac,
And Emily.
and today we're going to be discussing what's the worst Donkey Kong game by Rare. Because usually, most of the Donkey Kong games by Rare are known for being good. So, let's see which is the worst. Some people say that Donkey Kong 64 is the worst. What do you think of that?
Honestly, though, I think that DK64 is overhated and has epic moments to it, so people maybe should rethink saying that.
Okay. So, got three games that could be a contender for being the worst. Donkey Kong Land, Donkey Kong Country, Game Boy Color, and Diddy Kong Racing. This is representing Diddy Kong Racing DS. Okay, so starting with the reasons for why Diddy Kong Racing DS may be the worst. What's your opinion of the songs being mostly remixed, or for one of the songs it's taken out for some reason and could arguably be considered the best song in the game?
Songs in the DS version, they're okay, but not as classic and maybe high resolution, in my opinion. The N64 version. I mean, they're still listening to well, they're not bad, but it's decent.
Uh, what's your opinion of they had to take out Banjo and Conquer, which some people might really hate?
Yeah, it takes away some of the essence of how memorable game is for not having those characters.
what's your opinion that they were replaced with Dixie Kong and Tiny Kong, which this is the first game where Tiny Kong, for some reason, is not really tiny anymore. She's tall.
Interesting. Sure, those characters are great, but it's not as original. Since at least those characters already got to be in some other games.
Yep. Um. hmm. Okay. Also, what's your opinion on the stylus controls in the Diddy Kong Racing DS?
That could stink for if the controls aren't that good when using stylus. Like, I wonder how, when you're moving the stylus across the screen, you keep track of the character movement.
Okay, so that's the reasons for Diddy Kong Racing DS. Now, going to the first Nintendo game I ever played, which was this Game Boy Color version Donkey Kong Country. And what's really the reason to play this version when there's the Game Boy Advance version? Or you can. That's. Well, if you're not wanting to play the original and you want to play the game on the handheld, that's. Why would you play this version compared to the Game Boy Advance version?
The only two reasons, or maybe three, to play it is, again, playing it on handheld. The mini games, and it has a bonus song in it that's probably one of my favorite songs from this game.
It has two original songs, anyways.
Uh, well, I'm specifically talking about the main one that I listened to.
Um, we also have the minecart levels are kind of pretty hard in this version. And the snow levels are hard too.
They increase the difficulty in this version for some reason. It's already kind of challenging enough before.
There is an exclusive level that's only in this version. That's not in the Super Nintendo or Game Boy Advance version. But is one exclusive level. Make this really something to play over the Super Nintendo or Game Boy Advance versions.
Probably not.
It has a hard final boss. Um, this version is nostalgic, though, for me, for being the introduction to Donkey Kong for me. But can admit that it's flawed. But there's one more game that maybe could be considered the worst. Okay, it has hard cloud levels and a level that's like extremely hard that they put a teleporter or like some portal for you to skip the part of the level. Which that's not that good of game design. Um, and this game is really hard if you're playing it on the original system that it was designed for, because the characters blend into the colors and it's hard to distinguish them, the villains from the backgrounds.
That's why this game, if you're playing that version, could be the worst Donkey Kong game. But if you're playing the other version of it, playing it on the other console.
That's the Game Boy Advance SP. specifically.
then it's probably not the worst game, and I'd say the worst Donkey Kong game would be the Donkey Kong Country 1 on the Game Boy Color.
Was the first way to play Donkey Kong Country on the handheld. They did a decent job porting it to the Game Boy Color, but still probably the worst. So, with that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you have a good day, and I hope you have a blessed day. Signing out.